infection in the foot. His skin was soft. There was no more exfoliation, no hardness. The nails had grown over new. He was amazed. He was very happy with that.
Yeah. Is there any, I'm not asking for any trade secrets, but is there any preliminary toxicology at all?
No, not that they shared with us.
In the event there's some, since we don't know what's going to show up, so we can feel like the tissue, these three drugs are going to show up. Were you aware of any other medications he was taking?
I was not aware of any other medications that he was taking, but I heard that he was seeing a Dr. Klein 3 times a week in Beverly Hills. And he never disclosed that to me.
You heard from
His staff, like Frank Delano, Kenny Ortega, the people that work on his production team, that he was seeing him 3 times a week. Right about 3 weeks ago, desperately around noon, he was calling for someone at Dr. Klein's office. He called Brother Amir to call Dr. Klein's office. He wanted to speak to a special person there. I think the name was Jason. I wanted Jason to see if he can squeeze him in, you know, around the other patients.
Is that what Michael told you?
I'm there while he's doing this.
Oh, he's doing it?
Yeah.
Did you ask him what he needed?
That he wasn't disclosing. I mean, that's his own personal preference. You know, he's in charge of his medical history. He never did credit to me before, but I'd seen bottles of pills at his bedside that had Dr. Klein's name on it. I also saw like a Dr. Metzer name on that, so I realized that he's also seeing other physicians. But he does not disclose to me.
I'm going to give you the names of some, I'm going to butcher the names of some medicines, and you can tell me if it's something that you've treated him with. We've already covered the propofol. Propofol injectable emulsion, 1%. That's
lidocaine. That's called the anti-burn.
Right. The flumazeno.
Flumazeno, that is the antidote that I gave him.
Right, the antidote.
To try to reverse the effects of the benzodiazepines.
All right. The clonazepam. Is that something that you had issued?
Clonazepam. That's what is the name for that? Is that Restoril? Well, how many milligrams is that?
It is. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just know
I may have prescribed clonazepam, which is Restoril, which is a 30 milligram pill that he should use at night, PRN, if he as needed, should he wish to sleep.
Okay. So that would be for sleep, okay? Trazodone.
No, I did not prescribe that.
What is it?
Trazodone is basically an antidepressant that may also cause some sedation.
Cause what?
Also may cause sedation, help you to sleep, but it also treats depression.
It's not a MOI or whatever the hell that is.
No, not an MOI. Not an MOI.
It's that first type of
It's called an SSRI. Yeah.
All right, I got a couple more. Just let me take some notes. You have a question in the meantime?
Yeah, but go ahead. I can.
So clonazepam, you may have.
Yeah.
Trazodone, no.
No.
Diazepam?
Yes. I recently prescribed that to him, very first time.
Okay.
Which is Valium.
Right.
And that again was one of the efforts to try to get him off the milk.
Lorazepam?
That's IV. That's the oral form of the IV Ativan. The same thing I'm giving him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oral form.
If the pill does not work, because when you take a medicine like mouth, about 70 to 80% becomes available in the bloodstream because of absorption.
Which says the oral form of
the lorazepam. Remember that Ativan that I was giving?
Oh yeah, right, Ativan.
Yeah. The fact that it wasn't working orally, I was wondering whether or not if you give it to him IV, you'll have a better constitution of blood, will that help him to sleep? So that's why that came into play.
How about Flomax?
Flomax, I gave that to him.
Okay.
What's that used for?
He was suggesting that trouble urinating. He would describe, and again, you know, he never disclosed everything to me. This was late in the course. Over the last few months, he explained to me that when he went to the bathroom, it would take him hours to urinate. You can come in there, he would actually wet himself down, people would leave him there and come back and he still couldn't go to to the wardroom. And I said, really, you've had that? I did check his PSA before, which is prostate-specific antigen being a black male, and it was within range. So I thought that he had benign prostatic hypertrophy, because if it's elevated, you think other things. And so Flomax is a very good medication that will shrink the prostate and allow him to have a proper stream. So that's basically why he started that.
All right, now, nystatin cream mixed with some steroid? Is that something that you gave him?
Nystatin?
Nystatin, with
Maybe triamcinolone.
That's the stuff.
I did not give him that.
Okay.
He probably got that from somebody else.
What's that used for?
That is sometimes, the nystatin is an antifungal agent. The triamcinolone is a corticosteroid. I don't know if he's having some kind of jock itch or something as a going.
Like athlete's foot?
Yeah. Athlete's foot, not necessarily, because that's spread up.
Okay.
His feet is not spread up. And he does not have any residual athlete's foot or anything like that. So he's using it for something else that I don't know. It could be a jock itch or something like that.
Latanoprost?
What's that?
Latanoprost?
How do you spell it?
Latanoprost. It's an eye drop solution usually used for glaucoma.
Is it so it's called Opcon A?
I don't know. Well, it didn't have any brand name. It just said Latanoprost on it.
Is it over the counter?
No. No, it's prescribed.
If it's a prescribed agent, I don't know for that.
Any problems with his eyes that you're aware of?
Exolatin.
What's it?
Exolatin.
Oh, that's somebody else gave him that.
Okay.
Yeah, Zolatin, right?
Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
These guys.
Well, that's interesting too, because he never had seen an ophthalmologist. I was trying to
It
take...
came in 3 vials.
Really?
Yeah, 3 glass vials filled with liquid that you could use a dropper or you could use a syringe. But it is a prescribable one, but there wasn't the name of the doctor who's prescribed it. So.
Surprise, surprise.
Okay. How about...
Let's talk about that a little bit, because that's again another surprise for me. That's why I don't know exactly all that he has available to him. Mr. Jackson, I scheduled an appointment with Dr. Devan, somebody from UCLA, known to be very good at radiokeratotomy surgery for the eyes, recently, because Mr. Jackson buys these readers over the counter. He has magnification glass. He
Work great.
He can.
You lose one and you just replace it.
He has magnification glass. His eyesight was very, very bad. I decided to figure out he could be legally blind. His eyes was also very red. I asked him about glaucoma to see, because I'm trying to take care of him in general. And he says no, he doesn't have any glaucoma. And even when I spoke to him at that time, he never told me he was seeing a doctor that had given him any substance like that for the eyes. Just last week, I got this doctor from UCLA to see him. Last Sunday, they were going to open their clinic to do a complete dilation, look in the back of his eyes, check his fundus, and see what was happening, and see if they were going to give him any monocular vision or contacts, because I was worried that when he was in England, if you're not seen on the stage and all the bright lights, maybe you can fall and hurt yourself. So I encouraged them and him to have the eye examination. That eye examination was hopefully scheduled for last Monday.
So he had agreed to it?
He agreed to do it, but it never happened. I still have email from the doctor asking me to call and reschedule it. And one thing or the other led to that being put off, but his team, his production team, agreed that, it's something that he should have done. So I was trying to find out issues with Mr. Jackson and trying to address them in a gradual way, overall, to help him. And that was one of the things I discovered. So that medication is a surprise.
How about Balisone?
Balisone?
Yeah, it's a steroid cream.
Almost like a Vaseline.
Oh, no, I don't know about that.
Okay.
No,
for like some type of inflammation of skin.
Well, I am told that Dr. Klein is maybe a dermatologist. I don't know. But his production team has said to me recently that his worst days on the set is when he had gone to Dr. Klein's office, which is about 3 times a week. And when he came back, he was basically wasted and required at least 24 hours for recovery. Now,
Is that Arnold Klein?
I don't remember. K-L-E-I-N.
Beverly Hills?
Yeah, Beverly Hills. So I wasn't certain, again, why he never shared with me. If you want me to be your team and overlook things for you, why would he have shared with me the fact that he was seeing a dermatologist or another doctor for any kind of treatment? That he did not share. The only time I got hold of the activity trying to get into the clinic, that day when he said he had to go, it was very important. He was insisting on that. That's when he called around and went to that place house for Jason and tried to see if he could squeeze it.
How about Benequin?
Benequin, yes.
Okay, is this something that you... Okay.
What is it?
Benequin, 20%.
What is it? What does it do?
It's a cream made for bleaching or permanently removing spots that will accumulate on the skin. Like, for example, if one has vertigo and you have blemishes on your skin, like dark or white spots that may develop, you can use Benequin. It takes about 9 months of therapy. It's a very safe agent, and it can permanently remove the spot.
And we already covered the prior injection marks. That was something that you noticed yourself in your examination, and caused for his veins to harden and make it more difficult to find.
Phlebitis.
Yeah.
That's another reason why I thought his cause of death could have been a pulmonary embolism or a blood clot migrating to his lungs.
Produces irreversible depigmentation.
That's why I said permanent.
Yeah, good tell.
Now he also has something called hydroquinone, which is 8% cream, which is used for temporary removal of spots. It works more quickly, but it's not permanent. So, he would use both in case there was a blemish. He would follow the 8% with the 20%. And, when the spot went away, he would then try to continue using the other one, so it doesn't.
Okay. We found a small portion of marijuana in his room. Did you know him to be a smoker?
No.
Okay.
Marijuana?
Which room? The one that you don't go into, or?
Yeah, the one you stay out of.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
He denied so clearly. I felt, now that I'm finding out all of these things piece by piece, I gave Mr. Jackson love. I was his friend. I cared about him. I tried to help him. That's all I was trying to do. And I feel let down to know that, he would be using things like that.
Well, the marijuana we found was old. It had already rotted away.
Oh, he rotted away.
Yeah.
It was in a suitcase, in a closet. Their family members came across it when they were cleaning.
So, it wasn't like a fresh joint or anything.
So,
Something that had
who knows?
rotted. It's been,
I doubt that he would even pack his own suitcase when he went away. What about cigarettes?
No, he packed his suitcase.
Did he?
Yeah, I knew that for a fact. He packed certain
Clothes
suitcases.
or other things?
He would pack certain suitcases that he went away because he would be familiar with where certain things would be, and he would want to know that and keep that exclusively to himself.
What about cigarettes?
I know them to smoke. They found cigarettes.
Empty packs.
Really?
In the same suitcase that this, literally it was raunchy, old, you couldn't even tell it was marijuana. In fact, we thought it was initially tar heroin. When we had it analyzed, and it's just decomposed, basically marijuana, and the THC was present.
Yes.
But nonetheless, there was 2 empty packs of cigarettes in there. I know his family is definitely against that.
Wow.
But again, who knows?
But at the same time, no one went into that room. He wouldn't let anyone in. But he used excessive cologne. And I never understood how he sprayed that much on. All the time, I'd be saying he just keeps spraying. And it could have been to dismiss any odor. I don't know.
Mentioning some doctors, we talked about a Dr. Lee,
Yes.
and was she in Vegas?
No, she's here in California.
Where at, do we know?
It has to be Los Angeles because this is where apparently she was coming in and giving infusions different times during the week. That's what he told me.
And then there was also the Dr. David Adams.
He's
in
in
Las
Las
Vegas.
Vegas.
We talked about a Dr. Klein, possibly an Arnold Klein,
Yeah.
in Beverly Hills. And then a Dr. Metzer.
In Beverly Hills too. That's what
Beverly Hills.
their prescription